Okay, so I obviously had some serious complaints about the previous episode, Yada Yada Berries. Assuming that I don't upload these videos out of order, you guys should be well aware of that. This episode, though, serves a very similar purpose to Yada Yada Berries. It presents a serious story in a lighthearted way, and it also helps to rebuild this world in the eyes of us, the audience, so that we understand the new status quo just a little bit better. Opening with a family returning to their monster-sized home to discover that it actually used to be a monster home and that they've been displaced so that those monsters can live there again. Those people end up down by River and Moon's gross saliva yurt and start living in that area along with them. And they're super annoying people. Like, you can tell they're not bad people, but they're super annoying. And they expect Moon to take care of them, because that's what she's always done. And this episode's hilarious. I'm not even going to describe much of it, because it's just so good you have to watch it if you haven't. But they're so annoying that Moon starts to break down. And her breakdown is the funniest part of the episode. But as much as she hates these people, as much as they annoy her, as much as they frustrate her, as far as they pushed her, when she realizes that she might have actually driven them off, that she might have actually put them in more danger by doing that, she searches for them, she brings them back, and she starts teaching them how to be self-sufficient. And in fact, more displaced people start showing up soon after, and she helps them in the same way. No longer is she taking care of them, no longer does she expect them to just get by on their own with whatever help the throne tosses their way. Now she's started teaching them, and soon she'll be able to expect them to take care of themselves because they'll know how. And while I don't entirely understand the message that this episode was trying to convey, if it was trying to convey any message at all, because if it was trying to convey a message, it seemed to be that no one should rely on their government at all for anything, and I don't agree with that. And I want to be clear, I don't think that's the message that it was trying to convey. I think that was just something I read into it. This episode was really good. It was really solid. It was really funny. It served its purpose very well. I mentioned that this episode seems to exist to further world build, and it did that magnificently. And it did deal with a pretty serious topic, that being how to handle displaced people. The monsters who moved back into these people's home by decree of Eclipsa, I'm not arguing that they didn't have the right to do that. That was their home first. But, just like in analogous real-world situations, moving those monsters back into this place, back into this land, displaced the people that already lived there, because somebody already lived there. And it looks like Eclipsa forced those people out of their home without ensuring first that they had somewhere else to go. Like I hinted in my previous review, if Eclipsa really does want the humans to start to trust her, that's something that she should be doing. She should be making sure that if she drives someone off of the land where they live, that they have somewhere to go afterwards. And she's just not doing that. And the issue is, this isn't really analogous to any real-world situation. There's no one-to-one comparison in the real world that we can make with this situation. The humans, they aren't really analogous to any real-world group. Even comparing them to the commoners in a medieval system doesn't really work because their role is different. In a medieval structure, they would have, for example, grown all the food for the throne, but in their world, the throne grows all the food for them. Everything's backwards. They're almost like children, expecting the throne to care for them like children. And Eclipsa should know this. There's no reason why she wouldn't know this, and there's no reason why she wouldn't expect them to react the way that they're expecting. And I don't understand where the writers are coming from expecting us to assume that she would just think they'd be fine. The longer this storyline goes on, in fact, the more convinced I am that Eclipsa, while she is brilliant in some ways, is also pretty frickin' stupid. I also want to praise this episode for completely dropping Star and Marco for an episode to give us a story with Moon and River. I really enjoyed that. I'm super glad that every single kids TV show that I'm currently reviewing, even if it's on hiatus, for example, has the option of giving us episodes like this one that explore different perspectives. Because this show wouldn't be as good if it couldn't pursue other perspectives the way that it does sometimes. Though I do think this is the first episode we've ever gotten that didn't follow either Star or Marco. I could be wrong about that, and if I am, certainly correct me in the comments down below. But either way, I really liked the way this episode was structured. I really liked the perspective that we got. I really liked this episode overall. It was an excellent follow-up to the themes of the previous episode. I may not have liked the previous episode, but I did like the world building that we got within it. And this followed that up brilliantly. And as I mentioned before, it was absolutely hilarious. As per usual though, guys, I'd like to know, what did you think of Down by the River if you have seen it? Let's get a discussion going in the comment section down below, or over on my Discord, link in the description. But either way, this has been AJ22, and I will talk to you guys later.